Hello, this evening we're going to do some more of our English practices. I haven't checked out the PhilNets exam again, but I know that I'll have to look up the new exam and see what we can do with the exam, if we can come up with more videos. But today, what I've also done is upload more of the recordings that I've been doing, and then adding more of the short videos too to emphasize certain parts. And I think updating the channel is gonna take a lot of my time too, but it's a little bit kind of like a social networking site too, where other people have their own channels and you look up their video, look at their videos and look up for videos that are interesting, and because of that you can make up the social network in that way and see which ones you patronage or which ones you are very interested in and find useful. So I think if you are coming up with your own website, that's also well and good. But YouTube, the platform itself, seems like a a way for you to also kind of like create your own website and share information with people, and then also find similar channels that are just like what I said a while ago, what you are looking for. So in that way, I think if Google at the time was also looking for, um, well, I think they were really looking for a way to get into the social media sphere, social media. Um, I don't know if we can use the bandwagon word for this one, but well, they were kind of late in a sense. But in this case, it seems like they're catching up and they're using YouTube as the platform for doing social media. And of course, some of the things that they've been adding, as we can see, are putting in like comments and feeds. Although I don't really read those things as much because they're too small, really, the font size. And I think um, maybe there are other people who find them really useful and really interesting, and they read those things. But I do try my best. I do try and read some of the things that come out, but they are really too small, and you have to click them to see what is happening there. Although you can read a few of the words that are written, but again, they're still too small, at least for me. So I don't use that part as much. But this one about the videos and the channels and people uploading content that you can also use to help you learn stuff. I think from what we can see, based on what I've been doing, I've been putting in more time to building my channel, building the company's channel, and also watching the videos from other channels so I can learn and improve myself, my own channel too, because you can look at the videos that people have been uploading and then see what you can use with your own channel to improve your own channel so that it's a lot clearer what you want to say and things like that. Okay, now what else are we gonna talk about? Actually, the Japanese class is also interesting this evening, but I think it's um, it's again one of those talks uh, about the devil, and I think there are not a lot of people who would want to listen to that kind of stuff. Um, so you might wanna just well, if you're really interested, maybe you can listen to the Japanese class and see what's happening there. Actually, I've been talking about that. Well, not really specifically all the stuff that I said just a while ago for Japanese class, but um, part about um things like people, when they hear this sort of thing, they feel that it's kind of um, maybe close to what it might really be in their minds. So they feel afraid. They become afraid because it might be really true. It might be really what's gonna happen. And just to give you an idea, because otherwise I'll just sort of like just be translating whatever I said or interpreting whatever I said in Japanese class, and I know I need to rest too. But just to give you an idea, it's something that we encountered when we were much younger, when we were in school, and we found that our teachers, I think, because of the noise pollution, also gradually became a little bit strange. Of course, we now know that this noise pollution from years and years ago, because we were in grade school. Uh, I think this was in the 90s. So after several years, the the noise pollution still persists, and I think we know that there are people who have gone a little bit strange because of this. Like for example, what I've shared before too about the actress, the the realist Home Along, the realist actress who appeared on television and was explaining how there was this noise about um, saying and was saying something about this is gonna happen, and this and that, and we know that I think this was about 10 years ago, and so the reason why the noise pollution became much more prevalent was because the guys who were misusing the technology, their luxury vehicles got caught by the police, and so they got angry and they were causing more problems for people. Now, for the 90s, it looks like because our teachers were becoming a little bit strange. Well, not all of them, I guess. It could be that some of the um, things that they were smuggling also got caught, and so they were targeting certain people so that it would be a way for them to show that um, that we can cause fear, that we can create trouble. So if you are gonna continue to catch our smuggled goods, then we will cause more problems. It seems to be like that because if you listen to what our teachers at the time were saying, especially the ones who were a bit who have gone a little bit strange, where previously they weren't really like that at all. And I'm talking about one of our teachers who told us that we gotta prepare. We gotta um, prepare for what? We gotta prepare for when the time comes when the devil, Satan, comes to where you ever you are, and you gotta make a decision. And I think when I was sharing this with Japanese class, it was at the time that I remembered Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 1. But Dragon Quest 1, the first one, that was in the 80s. So it took us 10 years. A little over 10 years to um, have that story related via our teachers to grade school students. And I think if you, maybe at the time, if you were there, I think you would also feel a little bit troubled, a little bit afraid because our teacher is sharing something about the devil, about Satan, about these things that I think doesn't sound a little bit funny, but I guess for those of you who think that it's um, maybe because the way that you grew up, this sort of thing is just like a storybook kind of thing where It's not supposed to be believed, that it's something that people just come up with, and it's not really the truth. It's not really the actual thing. Maybe you won't feel afraid at all. And I think that's also why people who maybe are fond of Dragon Quest, like for example, in my case, particularly Dragon Quest 6, the stories there are a little bit towards the stuff that I was saying too about our teachers who also related to us this type of stories. And we know that in Dragon Quest 1, there's also towards the end the part there where you gotta choose. The devil's gonna ask you something, and you gotta choose what you wanna do. Now, interestingly, we didn't have only one teacher who kind of became a little bit weird, because the other teachers also was telling us that there are corporations that are run by devils, that are run by um, the uh, the the grand Satan, the grand devil himself. I'm saying grand devil. It's like, why did you say it in Spanish, demonio? Because I know that people when hear the demonio, they don't wanna. I mean, it sounds like really scary. But that's why I know. I think because if you hear it in Japanese like oni, I mean oni, and so that's why I think we tone it down a little bit. So because certain people might not like to hear that stuff. But anyway, according to our teacher, there are corporations that are run by devils, and so we gotta be careful. And when we ask, so what do they sell? Turns out they sell soap. So this sort of talk that if you listen to it now, it's kind of really funny. But we know that because the noise pollution really messes up with the people's minds, and if they don't know that it's really coming from the technology that is available already out there and people are misusing them, and in particular people who are into smuggling, then I think for the rest of the guys, this isn't really something that is not not I mean it's really something that we should be worried about. It's really something that we should be concerned about. And I think since we have already explained that the noise is coming from misused broadcasting technology, and we have identified members of this group where a number of them are also from the same school, then it looks like we are getting to the bottom of this problem, right? And of course, the main thing that we want to do is to solve it and to stop all these smuggling, and particularly people who misuse technology to cause problems like this. If we cannot really stop smuggling, then at least we can stop those who are smuggling and are being terrorists, because we know that they smuggle, and to be able to smuggle huge amounts of agricultural products, huge amounts of luxury vehicles, they need to use technology to scare people, to terrorize people, right? And if people are terrorized, then they'll just say, okay, so we just say, no, we haven't seen any luxury vehicles passing by in the ports or whatnot, and then and that's it, right? We won't get any of your noise pollution problems and stuff like that. So people just agree to whatever the smuggler terrorists are saying, and because of that, the smuggler terrorists continue with the smuggling and get lots and lots of money. But at a certain point in time, like what happened about 10 years ago, their luxury vehicles already got caught, and so they've lost a lot of money, amounting to over 50 million pesos, and now you get people causing more problems for other people using the technology that they are quite aware of already. Okay, so what technology is that? That's the broadcasting technology that causes us to hear this noise pollution, causes us to even see visual images, even movies. And we know, again, we have the antenna to say that if we turn on the television, want to see whatever you're broadcasting on the television, and if we turn off the television, that means we don't want to see whatever you're broadcasting. But again, because the technology is there and it looks like it's not profitable, when people are aware that you gotta have a permit, you gotta have the antenna there with your television to say that I permit you to broadcast your stuff and show it on my monitor, because it's not profitable if we have to wait for people to say something like that, to turn on their television and just broadcast stuff without their permissions at all. Then we just misuse the technology to cause problems, right? Because it's so much faster to do that without the permissions, and we know that because we can't really profit with permissions, then we use it to profit, and forget the part about the permissions at all. I mean, you don't wait for people to permit you anymore. Just go ahead and do it, and the problem becomes where it's really noise pollution already, and that's something that is already written in our regulations, laws and regulations. Okay, all right, so we'll stop here for now. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see each other